With a lawyer's perspective on the lawsuit against Vince McMahon and more, this is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we move on, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Rambles with notifications on, and don't forget to like the video. Mentioning the origin of her dancing gimmick in WWE, Emma said this on Captain's Corner. I guess I was always just giving myself a hard time, like joking and being the butt of the joke just to make other people laugh, so it just started with that. Then Byron Saxton actually helped me out with the dance. He was doing some kind of Egyptian thing. Then that turned into the Emma dance as we put it together, and yeah, we just went for it, and that's kind of how it came about. When it comes to what is next for NXT star Tiffany Stratton, Ringside News wrote that reports from backstage at WWE Raw indicate that there has been significant discussion surrounding a Royal Rumble match appearance. According to PW Insider Elite, there have been suggestions and pitches to have Tiffany Stratton join the Raw roster, indicating that WWE sees potential in her and is considering her for a move to the main roster. While it's not officially confirmed at this point, there is speculation among some insiders that she could potentially make her main roster debut as soon as the upcoming month. Giving his thoughts from Monday Night Raw, commentator for WWE Pat McAfee said this on his show. Lot of slapping last night with Gunther. Those shots, you feel them. It's like, who the hell? I'm not taking one of those. He has had the title for a long time. Longest of all time. We're talking about legendary runs right now. Seth freaking Rollins last night made quite a case for the World Heavyweight Championship to be the one that Cody Rhodes should challenge for. Compelling case. Talking about her dedication to the OC faction in WWE, Michin told Denise Salcedo, "I would definitely love to climb up the ranks. I know I just had a championship match with Io Sky, and as of now, with my focus on the boys and trying to make sure the family stick together, that's where my priority is right now. However, the more that AJ don't want to hug me, the more I'm trying to focus on the girls. At the end of the day, I might have to focus on myself, but I gotta stick with family." Touching on her plans in WWE following a return to the promotion at the Royal Rumble, Naomi said this on WWE's The Bump. "Now I gotta do it bigger this time in the WWE, way bigger than before, but the challenge this time is, though, I've been around and I'm back again. It's like starting all the way over at the bottom, but I'm looking forward to that challenge and working my way back up to going against the best of the best. My goal is to be a Grand Slam champion. That's my focus." Speaking about Jordynne Grace's recent WWE debut, Booker T noted on his Hall of Fame podcast, to see her go out and perform the way she did when she made her walk to the ring, she looked like she belonged. She looked like she was not trying to take her or anything from TNA, but she fit right into the system right now. She looked great. Hey man, I think they should sign her, but right now I think she's still under contract with TNA. Hopefully, if they can make some kind of a deal where she can still work, I don't know. This TNA deal seems like it's something that's really real. Asked if he and the other original participants of the bout wanted to recreate their tables, ladders, and chairs match in AEW, Adam Copeland told Lethbridge Herald, "People say they want to see it, but no, actually stop and think about it for a second. We were in our early 20s when we did those matches. We're in our 50s now. Leave it in a very good place in memory and let us do what we do now, which is tell better stories." Recalling his match against Kevin Owens from the Royal Rumble, WWE United States Champion Logan Paul said on his Impulsive podcast, "Kevin Owens is better than I thought. He's good. I made fun of him frequently, called him all sorts of things, called him the Humpty Dumpty of WWE, called him a 40-year-old schoolboy who dressed like a teenager. I underestimated him, and I'm in a little bit of pain. I did retain my title against all odds for the first time in WWE, one title defense at a time. Who knows, at this rate, I could be the next Roman Reigns. I'm in pain. I bled. The position of the match was difficult. We were after the Women's Royal Rumble and the Fatal 4-Way with Roman Reigns, where he also retained his championship. Paul Heyman, after the match, comes out and everyone is chest out. They knew they just blew the roof off with Roman. Paul Heyman goes, 'Come here, son,' motions me over. 'What's up, Paul?' He goes, 'You want some motivation?' 'Absolutely.' He goes, 'Follow that, MFer.' He goes, 'You can do it.' Kevin, he's ruthless. I'll be honest with you. He has fingerprints on my chest, my shoulder. I'll be honest, I underestimated him. I was playing chess and he was playing checkers." Sharing his thoughts on the situation with Vince McMahon being accused of sex trafficking, former WCW President Eric Bischoff said on his 83 Weeks podcast, "The name McMahon, I think he's going to be right there with Chris Benoit in the minds of a lot of people as a name not to be mentioned the way things look at this point. I fought with Vince, I battled with him, I did everything I could to undermine him. But at the end of it all, I respected the guy that beat my ass because that's what fighters do. If somebody's good enough to beat me in something, you've got to respect their abilities. And even for me, this is difficult. I can't even imagine what it's like for McMahon's kids and the grandkids. It's just disgusting. You talk about the name, you go into Vince's office, and he's got pictures of his father and his grandfather and newspaper articles of things his father accomplished and his grandfather accomplished. Gone. Dark closet. Stick it in a box and hide it. Nobody wants to be reminded anymore. It wasn't just a name. They wiped Vince McMahon off the WWE and TKO corporate websites. He didn't exist starting today, and that's not going to change." Going over the changes that took place on Raw due to CM Punk's injury from the Royal Rumble, Fightful Select reported that the creative on WWE Raw adjusted from what was planned as of Saturday night at the WWE Royal Rumble. We're told that is directly tied to CM Punk's injury and that the Seth Rollins Cody segment was added as a result of Punk's injury. When it comes to New Japan star Kazuchika Okada potentially signing with WWE, Fightful Select noted that WWE sources confirmed that there have been talks between Okada's side and WWE. There have been WWE talent that confirmed that over the last few weeks, Okada has been in contact with others on the roster to gauge his offers, WWE's approach, and to help weigh a decision. We have not heard of any creative plans in place for Okada or any specific pitches that may or may not have been thrown his way. Ringside News added, AEW on the other hand has been confident about the possibility of signing Okada for some time. AEW has made a substantial offer to secure his services, and there were tentative plans in place for his debut set to occur well over a month from now. It's important to note that as of now, no contract has been signed by Kazuchika Okada. He has also recently enlisted the services of Barry Bloom as his representative, adding another layer of intrigue to his free agency status. Staying on the topic of Okada, this was said regarding where he will end up. As PW Insider reported, the belief among those we've spoken with is today is his final day under contract with New Japan Pro Wrestling, and that tomorrow he will officially be a free agent. His final bout for the promotion will be February 11th in Osaka, Japan, against longtime rival Hiroshi Tanahashi, who is now the New Japan president. As PWInsiderElite.com has noted previously, the belief is that with his longtime friendship with the Young Bucks, AEW is Okada's likely destination. When Okada was a rookie on excursion in the United States and wrestling for TNA, the Young Bucks took him under their wing and befriended him, assisted him out when most others left Okada to his own devices to navigate living, traveling, and working in a foreign country. Okada has maintained a steadfast loyalty to the Bucks in the years since, as he evolved into one of the best in-ring wrestlers in the world. On January 29th, Okada filed for trademarks for his ring name, as it remains to be seen where he ends up. Revealing what he was told by doctors recently, former WWE star Marty Jannetty posted this to Facebook. "I can't hardly formulate a sentence right now. It's a tough time in life. Yesterday they told me they want to cut my leg off. Struggling with that, my brother called last night and my sister died in his arms basically. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. I don't think I'm doing the podcast show tomorrow night. Please forgive me. I do loves y'all. I just can't. I'm so lost right now. P.S. Many of y'all know both my sisters. Diane is still hanging in tough as a mofo. Diane, stay strong. Keep belief. You too, Gino." Describing All Elite Wrestling, Roderick Strong said this during an interview with KSLA News 12. "AEW for me, and this is my personal opinion on it, is a passion project. Not just from our boss Tony Khan, who is one of the most passionate wrestling coaches, fans, bosses that I've ever met in my career, but the whole locker room. It's a whole group effort. And we're all coming together from something that, that a company that was created just 5 years ago, and to where the stage we are now, it's a team effort, and it's amazing." On X, a user, Vincent Hart, posted this about Zelina Vega, writing, "Rewatching the Royal Rumble, and only 2 women, aside from the eventual winner, Bayley, pointed at the WrestleMania sign this weekend, Zelina Vega and Roxanne Perez. Interesting though, when Vega pointed at the sign, the crowd started to cheer. They got behind it before Piper Niven broke that up. Zelina Vega, we see the vision. You see the vision. It's an uphill battle to get to Mania, with only a few months away, but we got you, Hokage. Championship on the horizon. Let's get it." Vega replied, "The crowd has been wanting it, been behind me. Once I get my opportunity to really shine, they know I won't let them down." Responding to Jordynne Grace's challenge for a WWE star to face her in TNA, Natalya wrote on X, "I would jump at the chance to do this. Loved our chemistry in Rumble. I can feel your passion for this, Jordynne Grace." Grace then replied with an eyes and hourglass emoji. Mentioning an ankle injury that she worked through during her time on NXT, Indi Hartwell said this to West Sport. "Looking back, I don't know if I should have done that. In the moment, I was like, I have to go back out there. I was begging the coaches and producers and the medical team to let me go back out there. Yeah, it bloody hurt. I thought, how much worse can it get? I did it." Following the expiration of his deal with New Japan Pro Wrestling, Kazuchika Okada wrote this on X, "Thank you for supporting New Japan Pro Wrestling for 17 years. Thank you very much. I laughed, got angry, cried. It was great. I look forward to playing the remaining 3 games as a free agent." Taking to X, former WWE star Mustafa Ali wrote, "In 1 month, every single show consistently sold out, record-breaking attendance for promotions, strategic alliances with TNA and NJPW, and most importantly, giving you a reason to believe that in Ali we trust." Cody Rhodes replied, "So happy for you. Move your own goalpost further and further back. They'll doubt you, but leave them the receipts." Ali then said, "Get to write my story, you make sure you finish yours." Speaking about the importance of not having a monopoly in the pro wrestling industry, Adam Copeland told Sports Illustrated, "Anytime there is more than one place to apply your trade, that's good for everyone who is part of that trade. A monopoly is never a good idea. That goes for me as a consumer too. As a consumer, I want more choices. That doesn't mean you have to choose one over the other. You can choose them all. I remember growing up and dying to be able to get my hands on NWA tapes. It didn't air where I lived, where there was WWE. WWF. I found International Wrestling from Montreal. I found All-Star Wrestling from Vancouver. I found all these other shows and I loved that. I'd get little snippets of guys I'd only seen in magazines. Then the show Pro Wrestling Plus with Ed Whalen, who was the announcer for Stampede, started, and I finally got to see wrestlers from the NWA and Continental. I just thought, give it all to me. That's why AEW is great. It's so cool to see different wrestling. This is really special, and I'm having a blast being here. Going over her recent encounter with Nia Jax on Raw, Women's Royal Rumble winner Bayley said this on WWE's The Bump. First of all, what would you do if Nia Jax was walking towards you? You would run for your life, okay? Damage Control saw that I can handle myself against 29 other women at the Royal Rumble, so they weren't worried about me. I've dealt with Nia so many times. I've beaten her in the past, okay? I knew she wasn't there for me. She was there for Rhea Ripley. To me, my goal stays the same. Like I said on Monday, you've never seen anything like Damage Control before. You've never seen a lineage of all these champions in the ring at once. A Royal Rumble winner in the ring at once. This handful of talent, it's never been done before. That's going to continue. When I make my decision on Friday, it's going to continue at WrestleMania when we're all champions. When we're all holding gold and nobody can deny us because we're on top of the world. Revealing that she will be undergoing a procedure, NXT star Dani Palmer wrote on Instagram, Jeremiah 29:11. This year so far has been chaotic, scary but beautiful, and nothing like the plan I had in mind for 2024. But I have a piece that makes no sense because I know the author of my story. I have to have a double hip surgery this year, and God is great because I knocked the first one out this morning and it went fantastic. Thank you everyone for all the prayers. Touching on the future of Ronda Rousey in pro wrestling, Shayna Baszler said this to Wrestling Inc. She doesn't know if she's going off. She doesn't know if she's coming back or not. She's taking some time either way and wanted to make sure if she doesn't come back to this, that she has a match with Marina Shafir. If I know Ronda, she'll want to get her one up on me, so we'll see. Taking to Instagram, Kota Ibushi, who recently underwent ankle surgery, posted a video of him nearly injuring himself doing a workout as he wrote, 4 weeks and still no weight but my first workout. That means straying. I can't even stand a lie. Holy sh, and feet are terrible too. After old tweets resurfaced from Solo Sikoa where he said he hated math multiple times, the star has seemingly deactivated his X account. When it comes to WWE's view of NXT star Trick Williams, it was said that House of Wrestling has learned from a tenured WWE source that the WWE SmackDown creative team was blown away by the reaction Williams got. The belief among some influential people in the company now is that Williams has future WrestleMania main eventer potential. A top WWE star that we spoke to about Williams complimented the NXT star's great attitude and skill set that he's cultivating. They added that they foresee nothing but positives for him. Talking about a potential matchup at WrestleMania 40 between World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins and Intercontinental Champion Gunther. Booker T noted on his Hall of Fame podcast, "I'm not into this title for title. It just doesn't make any sense. It just books yourself in a corner. You ain't got as much play as far as with the show. You want everybody to be able to get a piece of the action. If we do something like that, you're gonna book yourself in a corner just like we did with Roman. I don't like booking the show or anything, but I just don't think Gunther needs the rub right now. He has established himself so well with the Intercontinental Championship, he doesn't need the world title right now. Whoever gets that spot, they're going to be getting a rub, and you got to make sure you do that right because, like I said, doing with Gunther, you're doing it with a made man already." Stay on this topic, Gunther discussed a match against Rollins where both titles would be on the line, telling Busted Open Radio, "I always thought that scenario would be interesting with me and Seth in there, the Intercontinental Champion versus the World Heavyweight Champion. Actually, in that scenario, it all works out how I would like it. I would be the only one able to walk out with both titles. But yeah, speculation is a great thing, I think. Unpredictable this year, it is what makes this business exciting. Nobody knows where it's going. I've been honored rebuilding or building the reputation of the title than him. It's a very difficult spot to be in, to be the first one to have the new established title when everyone relies on you to make it work, and I think he's done pretty well." Recalling a story he heard about Vince McMahon, Dutch Mantel said this on his Storytime podcast. "I did hear how Vince was around the divas. He would have them sometimes in a manic state. They would come out of the room sometimes with him shaking. Then they would sit in the corner and not talk to anyone, but you could tell something between them that upset them. You remember the story about Ashley Massaro? She ended up killing herself, correct? I think that they just turned to the first page of this. There are a lot more stories that will come out now, especially from social media and podcasts like this one. People will tell stories." Providing insight into the likelihood of the lawsuit accusing Vince McMahon of sex trafficking making it to trial, lawyer Dmitry Shagnovich told Sportskeeda's Unscripted podcast, "So statistically speaking, well over 90% of cases settle. So if you were just going by the numbers, this will probably settle. Could it? Yes. We don't know if that process is going anywhere at all, right? What we know now is that he hasn't been arrested. That's all we know. The allegations here do kind of sound criminal, and so is it possible? Sure. We can't again jump to that conclusion. That will simply be unfair to do." And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.